Good evening, I'm Desmond Saunders. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thanks so much for tuning in. Increased COVID-19 cases tops national news again tonight, with 15 new cases being reported by the Ministry of Health. This rise in cases has led to the competent authority, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, to implement more measures here in New Providence and Grand Bahama to mitigate the spread. In a national address earlier this afternoon, Prime Minister Minnis indicated that these new measures are necessary to save lives. Altavis Munnings joins us live in studio with more on the Prime Minister's national address. Good evening, Altavis.
Good evening, Desmond, and good evening, Bahamas. In his 45-minute address, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, confirmed those 15 new COVID-19 cases today, pushing the total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases to 153 across the country. According to the Ministry of Health Surveillance Unit, 49 new cases have been confirmed since borders fully reopened on July 1st, and the Prime Minister said 31 of those new cases were recorded in Grand Bahama. The Prime Minister also noted that the majority of the Family Islands remain COVID-free, although that doesn't mean the country must drop its guard. But the rise in cases, according to the Prime Minister, have been concentrated mainly here in New Providence and Grand Bahama. And that's why the Prime Minister announced that government has reinstated measures to limit the virus's spread.
International commercial flights and commercial vessels carrying passengers will not be permitted to enter our borders except for commercial flights from Canada, the United Kingdom, and the European Union. This will come into effect as of Wednesday, the 22nd of July, 2020 at midnight. Bahamas Air will cease outgoing flights to the United States of America effective immediately. To accommodate visitors scheduled to leave after Wednesday, the 22nd July 2020, outgoing commercial flights will be permitted. Private international flights and charters for Bahamians, residents, and visitors will also be permitted. Pleasure crafts and yachts will likewise be permitted.
All returning Bahamians, residents, and visitors by air or sea from overseas will require an RT-PCR COVID-19 negative test result from an accredited lab. Now, these individuals will be required to present documents to immigration officials upon arrival here. These tests must be taken no longer than 10 days before their date of travel, and the passengers must also have an approved health visa. Domestic travel, according to the Prime Minister, will continue. However, all travelers within the Bahamas are still required to complete an electronic health visa prior to departure. Now, the Prime Minister also noted that details for those students studying abroad will be addressed in a subsequent communication. The Prime Minister also announced the measures for the island of Grand Bahama that he says has seen a resurgence in COVID-19 cases after being COVID-19 free for a little over 2 months. In fact, he said 30 new cases have been confirmed over the past 2 weeks. He said the new cases coincided with the reinstitution of air and sea transport when the borders reopened. Now, the Prime Minister pointed out that health surveillance teams have traced many of the cases to Bahamians, Grand Bahamians in particular, returning to the Bahamas.
A new curfew for Grand Bahama will be implemented from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. daily, starting tomorrow, the 20th of July. All public and private beaches and parks will be closed until further notice, effective Monday, the 20th of July, 2020 at 5 a.m. International and domestic borders will be closed to all incoming and outgoing flights and sea vessels to and from Grand Bahama, except for emergencies and to transport essential services and goods. Effective midnight, Wednesday, the 22nd of July, 2020. Ferry boat operations between East End, Grand Bahama, and Crown Haven, Abaco, will not be allowed and this will take effect tomorrow, Monday, the 20th of July at 5 a.m. Health officials on Grand Bahama have recommended stricter enforcement of social distancing and mask wearing with fines for non-compliance. To address the potential for community spread, indoor dining will be closed effective Monday, the 20th of July. Outdoor dining, takeaway, and curbside delivery will be permitted. Bars remains closed.
Also tomorrow, Monday, July 20th, all fish fries in 8 Mile Rock, Smiths Point, West End, and Williamstown, Grand Bahama will be closed. Religious services, weddings, funerals, and sporting activities are also not allowed. The Prime Minister cautioned that if efforts to decrease the cases in Grand Bahama are unsuccessful, more measures may be enforced, including a lockdown that he says may be implemented this Friday. The Prime Minister implored Grand Bahamians to develop a spirit of unity to help stop more COVID-19 cases being recorded there. Also from the Prime Minister's national address, the announcement that the coordinator of the National COVID-19 Task Force, Dr. Merceline Dalregis, stepped down from that position today. He said, though, she will remain available for further consultation if needed. And after taking the ministerial responsibility for health back in May, the Prime Minister also announced a cabinet reshuffle.
I am pleased to announce that the Honorable Ranrod Wells will be sworn in tomorrow as the new Minister of Health. Ranrod Wells is a doer who knows how to get things done. While the medical officials continue to lead the charge in the battle against COVID-19, I have instructed Minister Wells to move aggressively to upgrade our healthcare infrastructure. He's also charged with working with public health officials on boosting immunizations and vaccinations for various childhood diseases, some of which have lagged during the COVID-19 pandemic. I am pleased that Labour Minister, the Honourable Dion Fowkes, will assume additional responsibility for the Ministry of Transport and Local Government. As the new minister, Minister Fowkes has extensive cabinet experience. He has provided me with wise counsel on many matters. Mr. Travis Robinson will be reinstated as Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism and Aviation, effective tomorrow.
Now, the Prime Minister indicated that the battle with COVID-19 will last for some time. He said that the Bahamas is in a marathon and not a sprint, and the marathon demands discipline, endurance, resilience, and determination. We'll have more on the Prime Minister's national address in tomorrow's newscast. Reporting live, I'm Altaviz Munnings. Back to you, Desmond.